The crypto market flip might be closer than you think. And I know we've been in a big consolidation period for a while here, definitely testing a lot of people's patience. But when I look at the Bitcoin charts, the XRP charts, the Ethereum charts, the Solana charts, I'm seeing a similar picture. And we've got some other interesting data points to back that up here. So let's go ahead and get straight into this conversation. Okay, so check this out. Classic. Bitcoin approaching new highs. Donald Trump new tariff announcements. Boom. Donald Trump sending out the tariff announcement letters yesterday. The big ones, of course, going to Japan and South Korea, which are getting about 20-25% tariffs, something like that. And I know what you're thinking. Gosh darn, Laos got tariffed for 40%. How are we going to survive with Laos tariffs at 40%? Oh, the humanity. Most of y'all don't even know where Laos is. Cute little country house, man. Smoked some fatties sitting along the Mekong when I was like 19, man. It's a good time. Anyway, it's a different story for a different day, okay? Nothing's stopping this runaway train of Bitcoin going to the moon, okay? It's never a straight up ride. And yeah, a lot of people overestimate what's going to happen in a day or an hour or a week. But when you start looking over the months, okay, if you can be a little patient, not have to get rich overnight, you're going to do pretty good in these markets, okay? Check this out. Decode. Jar sharing this one. Major expansion of the total market is closer than most want to believe. This is the macro trend oscillator down here, okay? Check this bad boy out. We are getting very, very close to this crossing back over the zero line. What happened the last two times this crossed over the zero line? Well, you can see right here we started a major rally. And right here as well, we started a major rally. We're talking 6-month plus rallies here where the price expands exponentially. Interesting. Hasn't crossed into the green yet. We're getting closer though. We're getting closer. Okay, this is a 3-week chart, by the way. Charles Edwards with a very interesting chart here for us. The central banks are flooding the market with fiat money. The yearly growth rate just hit 9%. This is extreme and this is rare. The last times this happened, Bitcoin returns peaked on average up to 460% within the next 12 months. Okay, we are seeing massive monetary expansion right now. The central banks are printing as if their lives depended on it because it does. The economies depend on the constant flow of money. They're all addicts. They're all addicted and they can't get off the free, cheap money that they can just print by pushing a damn button. They don't even bother printing the paper for most of it. They just digitally print it, hand it straight over to the banks who get to front run you on all the bullshit. It's crazy stuff, man, but when you get more and more money pumping into the system, we've been talking a lot about the global M2 and how it's pumping, and it's still pumping, and it's still going up. Global M2 pumping is good news for risk assets, and it's not an immediate correlation. It can't just take like an hour-by-hour chart or something like that. It's a wave, man, and the wave's unpredictable, but the wave's going in one direction, up, okay? And that will rise, and there'll be the rising tide that lifts all boats, okay? Stay focused on the big picture, guys. Timothy Peterson here. NASDAQ recovery after VIX 55 adjusted for Bitcoin beta. Check this out. Very interesting, right? This is 273 days out. Prices tend to go up after the kind of extreme sell-off event like we had, of course, back in April. Okay? This also bodes well for not just your stocks, but also for your crypto coins, okay? Kyle with this nice chart here. Retail has left the chat. Binance retail inflows dropped below 12 billion, lowest since April. Last time Bitcoin didn't stay polite, it exploded through May. Retails on the sidelines are stacking in silence, and silence has a way of breaking loudly. Very well said, Kyle. Very well said. So, price of Bitcoin right now sitting at a very critical price level. Check this out. Now, we've been talking about this critical breakout line right here. And what's the price been doing? Consolidating right on this line ever since, well, this time last week, basically. Okay, so we've had a few moves back down to the 20-day EMA, including today, retest the 20-day EMA. Here's the question. Will we get a significant breakout above this line that can actually push us up? We're 2 or 3% away from a new all-time high for Bitcoin right now. It's not a big stretch. 10, 11% away from $120,000 Bitcoin. Also not a big stretch, okay? Huge amounts of accumulation going on in the background. You need to understand that. So the price right now sitting right on this trend line, okay? Obviously a rejection here in any kind of strong way could push us back down to like 105 or even back to the lower ends of this range at like 102. Okay, you need to have that in mind. That's where we are right now. However, if we can keep seeing the price hang on to this line, it increases our likelihood that we see this break to the upside and potentially up to new all-time highs, okay? When that happens, altcoins are going to follow right along. We have some crazy altcoin charts to share with you in just a second. Before we get into that, guys, if you're trading these crypto markets, you need to get yourselves an account over on BitUnix. It is the best damn place to be trading your crypto coins at, okay? You want to trade the Bitcoin, you want to trade the Ethereum, you want to trade the Solana, you want to trade the dog coins, the cat coins, the penguin coins, the frog coins, whatever your animal fascination is, they got you covered, okay? Deep liquidity on all the coins. And here's the best part. No KYC, no VPN. That means it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can come and trade on BitUnix. You can long the rips, short the dips, have a good time without worrying about your privacy being compromised or what country you live in, okay? You can trade on BitUnix, have a good time. And here's the deal too. When you use this link right down below me here, exclusively, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get up to $400 in deposit bonus. It means you put in $1,000, you get $200 back. You put in $2,000, they're going to put $400 cash money back into your account, okay? You have to claim that in My Rewards Center, by the way. And you can get up to $9,000 in trading bonuses. So the more you trade, again, the more money they're going to put back in your account, okay? These are crazy deals. Go check it out. Link down below. Now let's talk about the price of XRP. XRP, man, look at this chart. This is a beauty of a chart. Wild things are happening on this chart. Look at this insane triangular consolidation period here. This is a pennant of pennants of pennants, man. This is just, what a beast. Gosh darn it. We've been talking about this for a while, and it just keeps consolidating towards the end of the range here. Absolutely bonkers what we're seeing here for XRP right now. If we zoom in a little bit here, we can see right where we are right now. We are right at the top of the range. MACD trending up strongly currently, giving us the potential we could see a real breakout brewing up here. Now, if you want to go long on this right now, the candle potentially confirming a daily breakout. I mean, you can finagle the candle or the trend line around a little bit here. Maybe say, okay, well, it's not definitive on the daily breakout or whatever it might be. Still have 12 hours till the daily candle closes. But basically, you want to see a green candle close right around $2.30, okay? Which is basically where we are right now. So if you see that daily candle close, that could say, hey, you know what? Things are picking up. Now, we don't have a lot of volume on this move, which makes me a little bit suspect of this move. So we need the bulls to actually step in, the XRP bulls to step in and push this bad boy beyond the trend line, which they've so far failed to do. Now, a failure here brings us potentially back down to the bottom end of the range here, which is where the 200-day EMA and the bottom trend line are finding ourselves at, so around $2.10. If you're an XRP bull, $2.10, $2.11, probably great buy zones before this massive triangle breakout with a price target of around $4 and let's say 40 cents approximately. So this is a double your money kind of situation on this trade if it plays out as we hope that it will. So let's see how it goes. Now, if you are trading the breakout here, obviously keeping a stop loss with enough generous room here that you're not going to get stopped out in any sort of short-term volatility, okay? But a potentially very big breakout is brewing here, so definitely something to keep an eye on. The XRP BTC ratio, too, looking absolutely bonkers right now. Look at this thing. We've had all this resistance right in this exact range right here, man. When this breaks out, which will coincide with the XRP USD price also breaking out, XRP is going to move more violently than Bitcoin when it does finally have its breakout moment. Then we're going to see a big repricing here on the XRP BTC ratio as well, okay? So very, very interesting to see this here as well. Huge consolidation in XRP. That consolidation range will not last forever. This triangle, this massive bull pennant will at some point resolve itself, and the odds favor the upside, okay? Digital, these guys are selling their Bitcoin and buying a whole truckload of Ethereum, 100,000 ETH apparently. That's a lot of ETH, man. That's a lot of ETH. Holy cow. These guys are going all in. We're seeing more and more ETH treasury companies actually coming out, which is, of course, bullish for Ethereum. Now, obviously, not much to report on ETH here. Currently, we're sitting above the 20-day EMA, which I think is nice to see. It is maintaining that momentum currently, sitting above the 20-day EMA. So any retest down here into this EMA cluster, probably a good buy zone. And again, $2,400, also a great buy zone. But right now, I don't think there's a very strong trade in either direction. Ideally, the big trade comes from $2,700 breakout, okay? Now, I've been long since around 2,300. I caught it back on this bounce here. Hopefully, we can maintain this 2,400 support line here. and get the breakout beyond 2,700 soon. It's going to be the big move. And I know we got a multi-month consolidation period here. There's not that much to report on the price currently. But when this consolidation range breaks, it's going to be a massive move. Hopefully to the upside, right? Solana, big news. According to CoinDesk, the SEC has asked issuers to amend or refile their spot Solana ETF applications by the end of July, hinting at early approvals. The official approval deadline is October 10th, but sources say the SEC is under pressure to accelerate the process. So that to me means that probably we don't see the approvals by the end of July, but it could be much sooner than people expect. Okay, so if they're asking for amendments or refilings by the end of July, I mean, maybe like July 30th or 31st or something like that, you get an approval, maybe sometime in early August. But we keep getting the chatter. And when the chatter is out there from reputable sources, okay, it means it's more and more likely to happen. It's the same kind of chatter we had before Bitcoin ETFs got approved, the same kind of chatter that we had before Ethereum ETFs got approved, okay? It only makes sense that Solana is going to be the third major ETF to be approved. We'll see XRP and Dogecoin, Litecoin stuff probably come later this year. But Solana ETFs are coming soon, and it's definitely worth paying attention to, okay? Because Solana is one of the most hyped coins in the market, all right? Short term, daily, okay? We got Solana coiling up in this beautiful little triangle right here. Been kind of hanging out on the 20-day EMA the last few days, okay? Now a triangle breakout to the upside here. We need to see bulls step up the volume a little bit here, by the way. Bulls, come on, guys. An upside target here is actually about 165 from the breakout. Now, that lines up with this previous area of resistance back here where we had this huge fat wick up here to 165 before we're tracing back down. It also gets us back above the 200-day EMA. Now, I want a fat candle close above the 200-day EMA, man. If that happens, to me, that signals we are about to take off here for Solana, okay? And that we could be brewing for a much bigger move. But the technical target from this triangle breakout is 165. So for shorter term traders looking not to play around for too long, you can either say, hey, 160 here at the 200-day EMA could be the big resistance line, or the technical target, but also lining up with previous resistance here at 165 could be the spot to take some profits on this trade at, okay? So watch for the confirmed breakout beyond the trend line, top of the trend line right here, okay? That's what you've been watching out for, ideally backed up by a little bit of volume, okay? Now, top Solana ecosystem meme coins. Interestingly, we see Pengu, the 200-day EMA, has finally showed up here. Interesting, we're seeing the daily bounce off of that currently. I still have an order up here just above this previous resistance line, so I'm going to try to catch that. Hasn't quite come back down to a lower end buy target for me. Could still do that over the next few days. Let's see how it plays out. 20-day EMA still in play here. So the previous buy target back here the other day was at 0.0125. It's kind of moved up to 0.0135. Although we're still seeing the 50-day EMA down here. Eventually, we can see that wick down to that level. I would not be surprised at 0.012. Okay? We see the MACD starting to lose a bit of momentum here on the move too. So Pengu bulls need to step it back up. The Pump Fun TGE was teased on Gate.io exchange. Apparently, they're raising a $600 million or something like that through Gate.io. I think that was what they were going for. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, they've since deleted that page, but it should be coming soon. The Pump Fun token will come. Mixed feelings about that. Pump Fun's been such a slaughterhouse. We have the new game in town, which is Bonk Fun. And remember yesterday I was talking about this coin saying, look, I know a lot of people are getting the FOMO after this huge run up and you want to long it here. Not the most great place to long it, in my opinion. If you're bullish on Bonk, you want to either wait for the breakout here at 0.000025 or a retest down here at 0.000018. Okay. Now, getting this pullback to the 200-day EMA around a Pump Fun TGE doesn't sound all that crazy to me. Okay, because a lot of attention will then go back over to Pump Fun and their token. But the Bonk ecosystem could end up being the better ecosystem. Time's going to tell. So far, they're getting a lot of attention and a lot of market support. People are tired of Pump Fun and their bullshit. If the guys over at Bonk can do the game better, people are going to go over there, okay? The trench warriors are mercenaries, man. They aren't loyal to a launch pad. They're loyal to make money. And if the guys over at Bonk are going to help them make money, when the guys over at Pump Fund have basically, I don't want to say been a cancer on the industry, but certainly have not been a big bonus to the industry, capital can move. Also, the guys over at Jupiter have their new Jupiter meme coin launch pad, which we haven't had any really big runners yet. I think one's gone up to like 25 million. So obviously the Bonk guys way ahead here. They have the useless coin that's gone to 300 million. But Jupiter could do something here as well if we see their launch pad take off. But I'm happy we're seeing new major iterations of launch pads here, because Pump Fund's been way too complacent for way too long and had way too big a market share considering how bad the platform has been for the average user. So we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you back in the next one. Peace.